Okay, here's the word problems. You can pause now and try them on your own, okay? And then watch how I do them, okay? So pause the video. Okay, I hope you paused the video. I have, is 4, 5, or 6 the solution for the equation c plus 8 equals 3? A number plus 8 equals 13. Okay, so I have to add 8 plus something to give me 13. What's the difference between these two? Well, I'm sure a lot of you can see that it's 5. 5 plus 8 equals 13. Yeah? The other way to do it, don't forget, I said was to isolate the variable and invert the operation. So you want to isolate c, so c is all by itself on that side of the equation, and instead of adding, you're going to bring it over and subtract. So now it's 13 minus 8. And when you do that, you get your 5. c is 5. Okay, 9 minus a number is 2. 9 minus, again, boys and girls, I know that you can do this mentally, so go ahead and ask yourself, 9 minus a number is going to give me 2. What do I have to take away from 9 so I only have 2 left over? And you guys know already that it's 7. But again, remember, you can write it as 9 minus x equals 2. Isolate the x. Over here it's being subtracted, okay? So we bring it to the other side, and essentially when we bring it to the other side, we're looking for the difference between 9 and 2. So when you look for the difference from a number, you have to subtract the smaller one from the larger one. So you kind of rearrange the order, okay? And when you do that, now you get your x equals 7. Okay, for question 3, I know that some of you sometimes get a little turned off when you see such long word problems, but really, work up to the skill where you can, or practice the skill where you can just pick out the facts, the numbers that you're going to need. Let's see. The difference between an ostrich speed and a chicken speed is 31 miles per hour. That's their difference, okay? One can run faster than the other one by 31 miles per hour, all right? An ostrich can run at the speed of 40 miles an hour. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that right down. 40 an hour. Use mental math or guess, check, and revise strategy to solve the equation 40 minus c. C is for chicken, is 31. Okay? The reason it's 40 minus c is because this is the ostrich. We don't know how fast a chicken runs, but we know that there's a difference of 31. We know that the ostrich can run 31 miles an hour faster, right? It says it right there. Okay, faster than the chicken. So we go ahead, isolate the variable, okay, and look for the difference between these two, where it's 40 minus 31. And the chicken can only run 9 miles an hour. And we're going to continue solving mentally. So solve multiplication and division equations mentally. Multiplication and division equations are solved in a similar way to addition and subtraction equations. The only difference is now you're dividing and multiplying. And you can take a look at the guess, check, and revise method right there. Here as well. Okay, remember that if you're inverting the operation, isolating the variable and inverting the operation, that you do the opposite of division. The opposite of division is multiplication. One way to do it here could also be, for example, let's say you decide to move the s over to this side, right? So you leave the 16 on your own. I know you're not isolating the s yet, but this is one step we have to take before we can isolate the s. And now it becomes 8 times s, right? Because the opposite of division is multiplication, 8 times s, or s in the variable, 5 in the 8s. Now we want to divide out the 8, so the s is left by itself. And we divide it out, and I divide it out on this side. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. So what am I left with? I'm only left with, this will cancel each other out, so I'm left with s, and this will divide into 2. Okay? Okay, try D and E on your own. Pause the video, and then check my answers. Go ahead and pause. Okay, I hope you paused the video. Is 2, 3, or 4 the solution for the equation 4 times n is 16? Well, what number do I have to multiply 4 into so I can get 16? Because remember, when a number is next to a variable, when a coefficient is next to a variable, it's multiplication. So 4 times a number is 16. 4 times equals 16. Okay, I think you know how to do it. You know that n should be 4. But we can go ahead and do the process where we isolate the variable. So I'm going to divide it by 4, and I have to divide the other side by 4. So now these two cancel each other out, and all I'm left with was n, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. And there you go. And for the next one, we have 24 divided by w equals 8. Remember, bring this over to the other side. I know that we're not isolating it just yet, but this is the step we have, an additional step we have to take because it's a division problem. Equals 8 times w, right? The opposite of division is multiplication. And now you go ahead and work the 8 out, so divided by 8, and that only leaves me my w, and that means I have to divide this side by 8, and when I do so, I get 3. So 24 divided by 3 equals 8. That's correct. Example 6 is also another word problem. Let's read it together. Mason bought 72 sticks of gum. There are 8 sticks of gum in each packet. Okay, so 8 in each packet, and he has 72 sticks in total. So what do I have to multiply the 8 into so get 72? Use the guess, check, and revise strategy to solve the equations 8 times p, because it's 8 packages, and you have to multiply that times the number of sticks to give you the 72 sticks that he has. Okay? Let's see. If we try 7, 8 times 7 is 56. That's not going to work. If we try 8, 8 times 8 is 64. That's not going to work. 8 times 9 is 72. So there it is. That's the guess, check, and revise method. Now, boys and girls, why don't we do some real math, and let's do 8 times p equals 72. Isolate the variable where you have p, and you do the inverted operation on this side. If this side is multiplication, this side is the opposite, which will be division, right? And there you go, p equals 9. Here's the guided practice. Please leave it for class so that we can do it together. Okay? And please complete the entire independent practice. I believe it's only the front page. There's no back page. The back page are the hot questions that if we have time in class, we will do them. Make sure that you do the entire page, boys and girls. Challenge yourself. And if you have any questions, remember you can always go back to the video or the examples in the book. If you don't understand how to do these word problems, look at examples 3 to 6. Okay? See you in class.